So, and those are just ideas, but I guess the big question we need to know from the board right now is, do we want to start creating said committee or not? So, I'm in favor.
We knew that.
Well, I just need to make sure there's 3 people in
You got
favor.
3,
We
you
don't do
got
it.
you, John, and V.
Well, I'm
So
asking,
why ask me and Lisa? You already got 3. I don't even know why y'all
I-
didn't put this on the agenda. You should have just did it.
well,
Right now, what I'm thinking of is inclusivity. All of Johnson County. This has nothing to do with one set of people, transgender. It's inclusivity, diversity, equity. Y'all talk about that all the time, but you really don't understand what it means. There's no way. There's no way. I'm trying so hard. I'm just gonna shut up because my mouth gets me in trouble all the time. But I'm gonna speak my mind, and y'all know I'm gonna say what I gotta say, but this is bullshit. You can call it what you want to call it, and you can say what you want, and you can call it subcommittees and putting committees together, but this has nothing to do with us.
well, who's us?
I do think it has everything to do with how we as leaders at the county are addressing them in our community. And it doesn't have to be,
But you only addressing one subcommittee, one subgroup of people.
Yeah.
Be.
and there's
This
nothing wrong
right
with
here is
that.
all about one
There's
subgroup of
Nothing
people.
wrong with that. What's to
It
say
is something wrong
tomorrow?
with this picture.
Tomorrow, let's have another committee. Let's focus on something. It doesn't have, we can
We
do it
have
on
livable
affordable housing.
communities
We
for
can-
seniors.
There's
Nobody's fought about that.
I do think that there needs to be addressed that this does not take away from anything. It really adds to.
And hold on. We're not actually taking public comment right now, and when we do, we need you to come up, give your name and talk at a microphone. So let me just get through. I still need to know that there are 3 board members. Once I get that, I'll take just a couple of comments and then we'll come back, okay? So if you don't mind waiting. So are there 3 supervisors or more who would like to create some kind of working group? I'm
Yes.
yes.
Yeah.
So 3, Lisa,
There's your 3.
okay,
I'm still, I think we would need to separate out and do things internally first before we go out and into the community. I think.
oh, I see, you
we
want
need
something internal first,
Yeah,
okay,
and the internal part would be addressing some of these issues that were, like some of these issues internally by adding a statement within our respectful workplace in the handbook.
We can add that. I mean, we can add that. I mean, that's the whole point of this discussion. If there's something that you want,
Well, yeah,
something we
so
can
there.
add, in terms of enacting policies. Or, something like that. I mean, I'll add in here the workplace, what was it?
The respectful workplace.
yeah,
And I think that in order to things change and what we think is inclusive today, in 1 year we'll go, wow, we didn't include this and this and that. So I think that actually a little bit more a global type statements in the respectful workplace section of the handbook would actually be more helpful than very specific things. And I'm reminded of years ago, county convention, and we were something that had previously been about family. And we were aware that legislatively, family had a very, and it was prior to the legalization of gay marriage in Iowa. And family was very strictly defined. So we changed the wording, and then we started making this list and trying to be very inclusive in that list. It got longer and longer. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but what I'm saying is what we came up with then, after hours and hours and lots of input. If I look at it today, there were groups that were excluded. There, because I think maybe in general, everyone's getting a little bit more specific about kind of, self-definition and group definition and so our intent was to be as so inclusive. Looking back, guess what? Not so much. And that's why I think that if we are a little bit more global in statements.
Yeah, I mean, I think. we
So
can get-
for that part that goes with the county, I think that we can put something in that section of the handbook and be somewhat global about it so that it's actually all encompassing.
Mhm.
Because we're not specifying, by not specifying this umbrella term actually encompasses things that might emerge later.
What I think also what you're speaking to is the opportunity to review policies. And so I think that what also we could do is look at what the working group comes up with and then every year or two, go through and say, is that still current?
Well, actually, that's not what I was saying.
I'm just- I know, I was
Add
adding
this
to it.
Yes,
That what, yeah,
And I think the plan, we have this on the agenda for tomorrow as well, right?
Yes,
So for like a vote.
yes.
So one of the things I think we need to do is if the language, and Lisa, from what I'm hearing you say, I'm wondering if that's some change to the following as a preliminary list of priority areas. If we said, a preliminary list of priority areas we may or may not choose to focus on includes or something like that. So that it doesn't, lock us into anything on the list and it doesn't prohibit anything that's not on the list from coming up. Is that?
well, I wonder. if we
well,
could
actually,
change-
that's for the list, yes, but I think that at this point, I'm not supportive of a community-wide.
Okay, okay. John, you were gonna say
I
something?
am. I am. I'm a yes.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, it sounds like we have three people who want to form the committee. In terms of actually doing that, I guess I would say, V, you took the lead on this. Maybe if you come back to the board with some suggestions in terms of how big it would be, who in the county would participate, that sort of thing, we can run that back by the board in a week or so and have some specifics laid out. Does that sound reasonable? And then I've been delaying letting you speak. If you'd like to come up to the microphone, please. Like I said, if you could give your name, and we've got a 3-minute time limit we're trying to keep to, so.
I'm Emma Calabro. I was just curious, because you had said like back in October, there was a lot of harmony done for the Black community. Has there been like working groups to help?
No, ma'am, no, ma'am. And not one suggestion to even talk about it. No, ma'am,
Like
nothing.
back in October? we
Yeah,
suggested
absolutely.
working groups?
Yes, October, yes, and a year and a half ago with city council, where it all started a year and a half ago. Then it flared back up last October, and not one time have anybody ever said anything. Not one time, not one person on this board, none.
Thank you. That's
You're
just
welcome,
all I
sweetie.
was curious
You
about.
Yeah,
welcome.
that's fine.
You are welcome.
Thanks for asking. Since I just briefly opened this up to comment, is there anybody else in the room who'd like to make any quick comment? Again, I'm gonna ask that the 3 minutes be observed. Well, could you please come to the microphone for the question? And we're still gonna follow the 3 minutes here. He's got it up.
Oh, it wasn't on.
No, it wasn't.
wasn't.
Guillermo wasn't in the room, so I apologize for that. I didn't know exactly where you were at.
The question is there a meeting at 5:30 tonight? Because there's a lot of conversation about tomorrow's meeting. So just the meeting tonight, not talk about this, that this would be covered during.
I don't even know to what you're referring to.
Tonight is the tax.
budget.
Oh.
I can answer that. Marlene Welsh, Auditor's Office. So tonight is a public hearing on the proposed budget task askings. Tomorrow, we have another formal meeting in the morning, and then this is on for tomorrow's formal. So just to
Thank you.
clarify.
Thank
that,
you.
Yeah.
Thank you, yeah. Okay, anything else on this topic? Okay, seeing none, let's take a short break